Scream 7 is fully aware of how ridiculous it is for the Scream franchise to be on its 7th film, and it totally leans into those antics. So let's hop into what I think that they did well and what I think was really lacking in the film, and see where it sits. There will be some spoilers. On the good side, it's nice to see Neve Campbell back. She's the Scream Queen. Sidney Prescott, like to see that. The situations for the kills, the setups, the scenarios, very well crafted. One of the things I really did like was the situational humor. You have the scene where Tatum is nervous about her rehearsal for her play, and you think that she's probably going to be the lead, or she's going for the lead, and then you find out that she's just like a stuffed dog, which is hilarious. They have a few different scenes like that where they set it up situationally that are pretty funny. Not necessarily the lines that are said, but just what's going on in the situation. They executed that well. Like all the Scream films, there's some cool Easter eggs and nods to other horror films, and I really liked it when they did the Jaws camera warp, whenever the big surprise of who was calling Sidney and where he was at the school. Then there's the breakdown of where we're at in the Scream movie, the kind of meta-analysis by one of the characters in the film. Many of the Scream movies have done this in the past, and it's always one of the better scenes when you're figuring out who is behind the mask, what group, what their motivations are. In this particular scene, we get why would they bring back Neve Campbell for a 7th film. The only way that it makes any sense to do that after she disappeared for the 6th film was to bring back one of the big bads from the 1st film. This is where my transition to things I didn't like so much about the movie. Two of the worst ways that you could have brought back one of the big bads from the 1st film is the first worst way would have been if you had him be a ghost. The second worst way is if you use AI, which is lame at this point. Everything's doing it. Deep fakes, bleh, lame. Not original, not cool, stupid. I didn't like not having Melissa Barrera or Jenna Ortega's characters. I know that there's reasons for that, but still, they were cool additions. The story, the franchise did seem to progress on from Neve Campbell. To go back to that was a little bit jarring. The gore, it's getting gorier and gorier, all the Scream films. The first few really seemed to lean into the fact that the violence was an issue. It was kind of talking about how we celebrate that. And these later films, especially this one, really seem to hype up the gore. Is that a product of where slashers have gone as of late? Is that a commentary on that? Or are they just trying to one-up everything else that's been coming out? I'd like a little more clear of an answer, because what separates the good people from the bad people in these films, and the violence and the apprehension to commit violence was one of the earlier trademarks of the films that Wes Craven really leaned into. I know I'm becoming the old man in the room whenever actual teenage actresses playing horny teenagers is making me very uncomfortable. And particularly when those teenagers are played by child actresses that I've seen in other things. Don't love that. The revealed ending was a little lame, not my favorite. It wasn't bad, the characters, but it just, there was no real connection. There was nothing special about those two, and it just didn't do much for me. Scream 7 does have some lessons though. One, talk to your kids. Not telling them about some of the things that you've done wrong, some of the choices you've made, and the decisions you've made can really serve to alienate or isolate you from your kids. Two, it is okay to be a hypocrite as a parent. You've gone through life lessons that you do not want your children to follow you into, like with the boy sneaking in the bedroom, with being blinded by lust, those sorts of things that really plagued Sidney in the first film. It's okay if you're open and honest with your kids and you're sharing, look, I did this and this is why I don't want you to make this mistake. But when you keep everything secretive, it's gonna make it much harder if they're aware of the things you've done, but you won't talk to them about why it was an issue for you. So there's something to learn in every film. Overall, I had a good time in the theater, but it's definitely the weakest of the franchise. Have you checked out Scream 7? Do you plan to check it out in theaters? If you do, let me know. I want to see what your thoughts are